Hello everyone, welcome back to the World Cup 2025 down in the B stream on the losers bracket side this time. It's going to be Taiwan up against Chile. This one has some good potential despite the seeding disparagings to be a really close game. Although you can maybe favor Chile on paper, you can see the form of Taiwan being really strong this year. So you're hoping that things could make this close. I'm Shiva, joined by Hubba for this match. A battle for life, these two teams, Hubba.
Yeah, Taiwan definitely bowing in their previous one against Romania, taking it to the edge of tiebreaker. And the difference came down to some of these rookie players for the Taiwanese roster. Taiwan historically has been a team of very wily veterans, but Gao Hao proving different this year, showing some different looks, and Chile looking to do the same off the back of their rookies, Sifs and Gonza. Looking to keep up that work as we hop into this one. Some curious things to note. Chile likely to pick into mechanics as the higher seeds usually do. Taiwan a little more looks into the control maps this time around.
Yeah, we saw last time Taiwan played. They won on tiebreaker against Romania. And that was an incredible set of scores with, like you said, Gao Hao being the superhero of them here, with just generally speaking having great scores collectively for his team. Looking for this time to again do so, but against an even scarier foe in Chile, where they have players the likes of Alphiu, of Intercambing, to be incredibly scary people to face against in this tournament. Especially at this skill level, I'd like to think this is a sweet spot for Chile's skill ceiling. A lot of their players are going to be able to exercise a lot of skill expression on quite a few of these mechanical maps that you'd honestly quite favor Chile on a lot.
Oh yeah, Alphiu has really proven himself on these maps with regards to the tapping picks overall. Nomad 2, DT3, DT2 top scoring their team in those occasions, and Taiwan generally in that Romania match we're picking into those maps, so they do have to find some different roads here. Looking at maps like that Nomad 3, the deciding map for Taiwan King tiebreaker last time, was actually a phenomenal team score, highest in the weekend thus far on that map. Likely something that Chile is going to want to get rid of, but no, it's the... that's a missed thing. It is Nomad 3 and Freemod 1, getting rid of that stream map as well in the Freemod slot. One of the most interactive maps this weekend.
Yeah, so with that being said, Chile very clearly afraid of the ult and flow potential that Taiwan has, and I think if you're Chile, you're going to be generally a little bit afraid of that, because there is a lot of flow in this pool, generally speaking. I think if there's any kind of sub-skill set that's been a little extra prevalent in these map pools as of recent, it has been that flow aim difficulty. And with that hidden 2 being knocked away from Taiwan, not wanting to deal with that reading precision, especially with some really powerful reading players at your disposal, it's a sharp duality of skill sets banned out here.
Oh yeah, that hidden 2, one of the hardest maps in the pool this weekend. Lowest average score, mostly under 2 million for that hidden 2, so I see why Taiwan would want to ban out one of the final maps for that team. Getting beat up by Romania there, and it is going to be the hidden 3 pick, surprisingly enough, going straight from a hidden ban to a hidden pick, opting for the control that Flask brings to the table with this custom heartstrings.
Yeah, here we go. Niwashi Heartstrings. This one is a control-y banger, and it works so well with a team like Taiwan. You've got that beautiful rhythmic control in that flow as well. A lot of strange sporadic mapping styles, as you would expect from Niwashi songs mapped by Flask. You've also got mappers like Devious Panda that mimic the style so well. And I think this one is going to be very much up Taiwan's alley. But with Chile, you still have a lot of players to fare on this, especially players like number 37 and Alphiu. Got particular standouts on this type of skill set.
Yeah, and this is just leaning into just the kind of depth that this Taiwan roster brings to the table. They were able to pick the mechanics into a team like Romania, able to pick into the hidden control that they were generally avoiding in that Romania match, just trying to get Badu out of the lobby. But here, it's going to be a little more in favor, but they are facing a killer lineup on the other side. Number 37, Alphiu Sifs, and likely intercamming in that 4th slot is a scary roster to go against, but gotta believe.
Yeah, you do need to have faith here. Unfortunately for Taiwan last match against Romania, they weren't actually able to pick this out because I believe it was banned here from Romania. Not wanting to deal with that skill set from what I remember. Yeah, it was. It wasn't actually played out from this team. So it'll be the first time we'll be seeing Taiwan pick into it. Considering this is their opening pick, can't help but feel like you're a little bit worried for Chile on the odds on this, but it doesn't change the potential that Chile have on a map like this. Number 37, Alfeu, Seifs, and Gonza filling out the rosters here. I think you'd expect players like Gonza to really, when on good form, to be truly something different with Chile in that force. And the roster from Taiwan, Flyer, Riaya, Spines Knight, and Gaohao. And Gaohao, especially that last name, being a particular keepsake from last game, who was spectacular in their efforts of winning. So this time looking to make it happen again here for Taiwan in another battle for survival. Like the last battle wasn't as tiring as it already was.
Yeah, down the wire that was, and I mean, Gaohao definitely that name to look out for. Gonza assuming position on the Chilean side, first blood as Flyer trades it. This map incredibly volatile in its introduction. These wiggles, no slouch, Ruyaya, Spines Knight, number 37, Sips all down. But it is the core players, Gaohao, Alfeu. Gaohao with the slight ACK advantage, and that recovery combo from Gonza going to pay dividends for this early score lead.
Yeah, small recoveries in the hands of Chile though. Gonza with a very early miss, making this effectively a reverse choke, leading that recovery combo efforts to keep Chile ahead by a small margin. Accuracies as well, helping out Chile, good margin here. Big volume sections here, trips up Gaohao alongside two other members here of Taiwan, and that's going to give Chile a significant gap in that lead. All four members hitting that big flow spike, and that's going to give them, hopefully, as long as they don't miss on this little snappy section here, a lot of room to wiggle.
Yeah, and wiggle they will. Gonza with that break there, the recovery combo gone. Wait just a minute, Sips as well. The rhythm section in this map, very cheeky 1-6 burst, but Flyer to trade it out. That was the biggest combo on the Taiwanese side. Alfeu's FC still reigning supreme over this lobby, and now with a 400k barrier between them, I do think that it is getting out of reach. Triple break from Taiwan, and Gaohao needed to hold that FC earlier to make this contestable, I fear.
Yeah, it's looking into a bit of a disaster now for Taiwan. Really not much else you can deal with. You've got nothing to contest. You've got 370 plus combo from Gaohao, but you've got 800 from Alfeu, who is really soaring ahead in this one. A huge player who's improved a lot here for Chile to be one of those next biggest names in the tournament scene. And he's making that really clear now, despite doing great last year for Chile. Looking to make it even bigger this time. With 900 combo and climbing, looking to hold on to what could be a significant full combo that has not been able to be contested by anybody here. Gaohao, 600 combo, unable to really make much of it. As we enter towards the very end, I believe that may be a reverse choke coming in from Alfeu. Is that a full combo? I'm not too sure if he missed the very beginning.
I think he held the beginning. Oh, it's closed either way. Wiggle pattern, final volatile ending. That's 700k difference. What a score from Alfeu.
Wow.
To close it out. Don't forget his roots. He's a bit of an all-rounder these days, but he started off on this Chilean team as a hidden specialist and showing those chops once more.
Yeah, excellent score from Alfeu. And a big shout out to Gaohao as well with that really solid recovery towards the very end, holding on the very, very end of the map. Keeping that still contestable by his standards at the very least, but great FC from Alfeu to secure that win for Chile. Had that miss gone down way earlier and it not been nearly as strong of a combo, this would have been a much closer game. But as Steve says, that's why he's the GOAT. And Alfeu securing that early opening breakpoint for his team.
Yeah, very, very close there. But Chile with the first breakpoint going into their next one. Presuming that DT2 ban, Chile likely to go into something higher skill cap, hard to access for the Taiwanese team, something like a DT3 I could see being really strong for them.
Yeah, you could see Strawberry Crisis, you could see Remote Control, maybe that one a little bit more risky because of how well known the map is. Could be potentially saved as a map used to capitalize off the fatigue of the team that you would expect to be, generally speaking, less mechanically favored for you. You could also go for the shimmy in the normal 2. You could go for an aim-intensive map, like a normal 1, hidden 1, hard rock 1. Be a good use of skill sets from a player like Intercambing. It will be what we most expect coming into it. Strawberry Crisis, mapped by JLFJ. It's the Chile speed special, as we'd expect, really.
Yeah, speed special. You've been seeing this as a favorite for these mechanically dense teams just because the accessibility is very difficult to come by here at your standard Air 10.3 OD8 affair, but 285 BPM bursts and figure control, just a constant barrage, a constant onslaught of map coming at you here. And Shot Gamer hopping in the lobby, that's the DT specialist for this Chilean side. But Willie on the other side, part of this core Taiwanese roster, not in for the hiddens, but should be showing some competitive chops here just to see a different side of this Taiwanese roster. The depth is what brought them here. We'll have to see if it pays off, try and get their get back.
Yeah. It's a very, very difficult situation here for Taiwan, almost needing to effectively accept that this map just might not be theirs. You know, they banned this, I believe, last time, or just didn't pick it into Romania. And probably for a good reason. Either banned or not picked at all. It doesn't change the idea that this is not a map that Taiwan really want to go into. And the question really for them right now is weighing whether or not it's worth putting in strong players that you'd want to be picked into your next pick. You know, if you don't want one of your players to be fully fatigued or off-put by the different skill set specialization of this map, you would want to keep them off it to practice for the next one. But hey, what if that's a really strong player for this map? It's a question Taiwan needs to think about here on whether or not they want to have that as a choice, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be a problem. It's going to be Ryza, Willy, Shirosora, and Flyer coming in for Taiwan on this map with Gonza, Alfeu, Chok Gamer, into Cameron. The same roster they ran on their last match against Austria, where they went on to beat another really strong mechanical team by 176,000. 2.18 million score is the target Taiwan are looking for here.
Yeah, that was the standout opening breakpoint in their previous match. Originally was Austria picking at 2.1 million, the score line there. Taiwan looking to break that barrier with this roster. The idea here for Taiwan is luckily their DT roster is opposite from their pick strategy roster for this. They're going to be picking into those control maps and none of these players really a part of that roster. So luckily going to be having those players on the back end practicing their next pick, but in the meantime, it's an early Bancho break for Riser, but a real one from Alfeu early on. Just some accuracy difference. Keep this one switching over back to back.
Yeah, this map 2.2 minutes long with DT applied. This one is a long one for DT standards, especially of how specialized the tapping is. 285 BPM. It is brutal on your control and your fatigue. Shirosora is the first to go down for Taiwan. And Chok Gamer to join in, but Willy next to miss. That's a big combo gone now, as the Chilean score lead is going to start gaining with that recovery from Alfeu and gaining up more to effectively become this reverse choke potential score here. It's Cammy and Gonza, so incredibly strong, but Gonza will fall. And this is still very closely contested here. Flyer and Ryza still holding to full combos, but Ryza will fall. Chok Gamer and into Camping will join, and that's a big miss there from Chile, making this incredibly close. Alfeu now left alone with this big combo gain, having missed at the very beginning, now looking to be the one to hold for as long as he can as we get into the guitar solo section with much longer chains on these bursts. Mechanics such a high peak here. Flyer desperate to hold on for his team as you've got Willy on that recovery too to back up and hold him. But you don't really have a lot here from Chile. You're relying on Alfeu to try and hope that a miss from Flyer will bring the lead back in his favor. But as we get into the last quarter of the map here, is looking a little bit too far away here for Chile. As long as there's no collapse, as long as there's no triple-double miss from the two big combos, it is going to be a done deal for Taiwan. And it might just be a exchanged breakpoint here on the opposite side. Willy falls, Fire next to Sora to join in, and Alfeu starts to combo. There is no, well, this flips now. Chile still have a 5-4-way recovery, and they're going to get the flip. The score is theirs. It's gone back to Chile.
And the accuracy is the story there. The potential score for Flyer much lower because of that 93%. Holding on to the combo was a must-have for that score to hold true. Riser doing his best on this recovery, but intercambing the match means Alfeu had it free while it lasted. 2.6 million. Final scoreline improvement for both of these teams, but Chile doing more than enough to secure and consolidate that initial breakpoint.
Does that count as a caster curse, Hubba? Am I like going to be crucified by the Taiwanese player base for
No,
for
I
maybe
mean,
saying that it looked like they were going to win the map and then they just triple missed?
these things happen.
Am I cooked, guys? Like, I'm a little scared. I'm a little worried for myself. I hope they let's hope they don't have my IP anytime soon, because that's gonna be really scary. Anyway, that was a tragic thing from Taiwan there. I mean, there's not really much else you can put to it. As you have that lead building up, as you have really, really big combos, as Chile seem to be starting to build a relatively threatening recovery, they just all collapse, and Chile just don't falter. It's a brutal ending to what looked like a brilliant return, a reverse haymaker from Taiwan to let Chile know, hey, we're not out on this just yet. And win those slashes on the tapping, but it backfires really bad. It was really close, but it will be Chile with 2 points ahead. Hopefully not too discouraging for Taiwan, knowing that they have that potential to contest them on tapping.
Oh yeah, with these remaining maps, I mean, Taiwan likely to stick to the same pick strategy here. I'd probably like to see a free mod. Free mod 3 would be really solid, just as your main flow control map. Get a player like Ethan in the lobby, who massively overperformed. But this is going to be the Hard Rock one, going into one of the more difficult tech stream maps of this pool. It's going to be Haunted Dance by Megafan.
That's one I haven't seen just yet coming into it. It is from what I remember, a bit more of an unconventional Hard Rock one. It's a little bit awkward on its aiming style, but it's very mechanics heavy, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the streams in this
good amount
map.
of bursts, good amount of streams, yeah.
Very difficult with the XL cell flow in this map, as well as some of the finger control in between stacks. You're really reliant on the control. Luckily, no CS disparaging. Should be a very comfortable CS 5.2 here, but a curious pick from the Taiwanese roster. Just looking to get a different look at this Chilean roster on this one. I believe this was one of the breakpoints they took on Romania. So Hard Rock definitely not a bad pull for them.
Yeah, I think that this map can definitely still work for them. I don't think it's too heavy on the mechanics. It's only 192 BPM, and the burst and streams, although heavier on the flow and in requirement, generally speaking, it's not too difficult on that stamina. It's very much more just being consistent in the long run and not letting your nerves collapse on you. I feel like that's the big thing that will lead to misses on these tapping sections, is whether or not your shakes and your nerve control will falter when it really matters. Your nose tense up a little too much and finger lock on one of these streams or bursts, or even shake a little too heavily. For Chile, it's a pretty expected strong roster in general here. Trotgame, Intercamming, Hanayume, and Alphiu. Generally speaking, a good team. I think Intercamming, especially the biggest threat on this for Chile. An excellent Hard Rock tournament player, and kind of a dream player for a map like this. Hard Rock and tapping mechanics, even if lower on the BPM spectrum, still something that Intercamming was a big fan of. But for Taiwan, it's a good roster. Gao Hao, Willie, I think two particularly strong players going into this, with Spines and Ria filling up the roster. It's their time to make this work, and it's their time to get a point on the board. So if they go 3-0 down here, it's going to be looking very dire for Taiwan.
Yeah, and actually some curious stat lines here. They did pick this map into Romania, but they did get breakpointed. It was with a 1.8 million team score, so definitely looking to improve that. Seeing as they picked it last time, there's certainly some level of confidence here that they can certainly overperform their last time out on this one. It was the top scorer there, player to look out for on the Taiwanese side, and as mentioned previously, Intercamming, phenomenal Hard Rock player. Hanayume as well, specialist in their own right for the Hard Rock.
Here we go into Haunted Dance. By Megafan. This one being, generally speaking, just very consistent on these bursts and mechanics. Not too heavy on the spectrum, but the flow aim still hits. And Intercamming and Gaohao will be first to miss after that big flow section. I think the sporadicity of some of these space bursts and streams is really a thing that's going to cause a lot of issues for these teams. Intercamming and Gaohao still remaining to be the only two misses coming in. Three-way FCs from both sides. Accuracy leaning slightly in favor of Chile. Some really good action from some of the individuals of Chile here, including Willie from Taiwan. As we enter the first TI time, a little bit heavy on some of these jumps, big sliders into. Doesn't seem like any big misses just yet. You're waiting for a breakaway to be made here. It's very tempered, very close, very stable. But only Chile holding on to a small lead here on the score, but it's flipping slowly on the side of Taiwan. Gaohao with a solid recovery alongside Intercamming. pure accuracy of Chile still keeping them ahead by just a little bit here. You're waiting for something to break.
Yeah, and that's the section it's going to happen on. It's Willie, well. Alfeu, and Gaohao. Oh, wait, Alfeu's was Bencho. Willie's was Bencho, too. No. Yaya Gaohao, though. Double break for real for Taiwan, unfortunately. Not a great look early on. We'll have to see if that Hanayume break is legit, but if it is, at least a little bit of equalization here at the first to third mark. This jump section so tricky with the slider velocity increasing, trying to catch those extra slider ends, the XL decel, but it does seem like the 3-1 on combos is gonna really build for Chile now.
Yeah, this looks really strong from Chile. You've got 2-4 combos still in their hands. You've got into Kamig on an excellent recovery, really undaunted by that miss at the very beginning. So kind of Yume missing again, not the one you want, and it's especially what you want if you are Chile for against Taiwan. Spine Snipe falls. Gaohao, Willie, all missing as it's a collapse from this Taiwanese roster. Chile, although all having a global collapse, it being traded with 200,000 score in your favor ahead, as long as you just keep up, you don't even need to outperform. It is just maintaining the equilibrium here for Chile, and they're going to be all sealed to win this map and make it 3-0.
Yeah, unless those breaks continue here for Chile, there's no way for Taiwan to get back into this. It has to be a constant fall off, but Alfeu and Kamig breaking, a little bit of recovery being shown on the Taiwan side. Only 200k difference, but the ending of this map, the wiggles, are the most difficult part. All three combos for Chile fall once again. It's a slow build for the remaining members of this Taiwanese side. Gaohao, Yaya, Willie still holding on to the recovered combos. It's just a matter if they can hold on to this final very volatile wiggle pattern at the tail end of the map, but it's slowly getting there. Chuck Gamer, Alfeu is still finding these breaks. There's no combo for Chile at the end. There might just be enough time.
They're climbing it back. There's only so little time left. 75,000 score they have to close. They need to hold on towards the very ending of the map, and difficulty might start spiking here for these guys. They can't let go just yet. Chile are on the ground, beaten and bruised, praying that Taiwan don't overtake in time. There's only so little time left. Taiwan, they managed to break it through. What looked like a dire scenario seems like it's paved over as Taiwan take it.
And that's why you cannot get comfortable when you have a score lead like that, because the inability at the end to carry on to the combo, I mean, it's a solid enough team score for Chile, but Willie holding on to that combo towards the tail end was the difference maker. Taiwan, highway robbery from the looks of it, getting their first point on the board on that pick.
Chile had it all in their hands, man. All they had to do was keep up. They had 200,000 score and a full lobby-wide reset about until the quarter of the way left of the map. You had everything in your hands. You didn't even need to excel. You just had to match, and they couldn't do that. Taiwan held strong and kept those recoveries stable even towards the most stressful part towards the very end, and that got them the point. And maybe now some momentum that they're hoping to make this a closer game. With Raver's Fantasy pick next from Chile.
Yeah, and a very curious pick here for Chile hopping into Raver's Fantasy. This is going to be our density aim control map. Very high spacing, very old styling. You do see intercaming one of these players that is favorable to the older style of maps, as well as number 37 hopping in the lobby. You see that name plastered over 2011 global leaderboard. Should be an interesting pick for Chile hopping into some of the more volatile maps in this pool.
Yeah, it's going to be so heavy on that aim. On top of that, if you're a type that enjoys those old mapping styles, it can really pay off for you. I think you have to mention one player, number 37, to be a big note here. A big fan of these old map styles, from what I know. We also have Alfeu, who's solid on this. I think this works a lot here for Chile. Taiwan, though, I think, would like to think at least, do have some players that could really pop off on this. Question is on whether or not that experience in the past will pay off for them here.
Yeah, this is a curious map with regards to Taiwan's pick strategy, because with them picking mostly the more technical and more control maps of this pool, you would expect them to maybe pick into this later on in this match. I mean, best of 11, plenty of time to do so with maps remaining. So Chile looking comfortable on this. The snap aim elements in their favor slightly, but then you see the roster come in. Flyer, Shirasora, Willie, and Gaohao. This is a scary look for Chile. in a map that might be a little more coin flip than previously expected.
Yeah, I think that there's one player that you could look out for Taiwan, it would be Willie. Probably one of the strongest players on maps like these, at least from what I would guess, what I would assume. Being a very tenured player. But this might be a different look. We'll have to wait and see. Very much a bit of a coin flip from my perspective, at least. Although it's Chile's pick, that does come with a small ounce of confidence for that team, but anything can happen here. Last time Chile played this, they had 2.8 million team score on this. No score lower than 600k with 700k. It does add into a potential explanation as to why they're playing this so well, and you're already seeing it translated to massive differences here in the score. I was about to say translated into big translations, that doesn't make sense, but Chile taking a really emphatic early lead to start this with 2 members with SSs ready past the first PI time. And it's can be missed. That's one SS gone. It's number 37 left. With these fast, rapid, sporadic bursts here, some taste that beam control with the aim, it can lead to you having a lot of tense ups and difficulty holding your nerve. It seems like even then, in spite of some of the struggle coming in from a couple of members of Chile, it doesn't change the fact that they have taken an emphatic lead already. It's a short map, and this 560,000 score lead is just, honestly, kind of a done deal already, really.
Yeah, it's all about the combo density in this tail end. You do have Alphiu and Flyer on equal combos, a slight recovery advantage on Taiwan off the back of Willie, Gaohao, Shirasora in comparison to Sips and number 37, but it's really just too little too late, I fear, for the combo advantage. And this is why Chile, the higher seeded team, is picking the more volatile maps in this pool. This is a very hard skill set to come by, and a phenomenal team score for Chile here with these outscores. It's over 600k on every member for them, and near 3 million team score this time around. You mentioned the 2.8 last time, but what an improvement for the Chilean roster, confirming that 3rd point on the board in a very quick fashion.
Yeah, nothing too crazy here. That's different, unfortunately, for Taiwan, hoping that Chile either falter or they can manage to pop off and match their previous score, but Chile knew the capability that they had this time. No score lower than 700k. Very, very impressive team-wide from Chile.
But back in the drawing board for Taiwan, remaining maps remaining. I do feel like Nomad 4 is suddenly an option for this Taiwanese roster. Off the back of that Hard Rock 1, there's been a lot of comparisons between those two maps with how they are structured. They're both having those technical streams. They both have plenty of control elements and high velocity sliders, as well as that 1/3 section around the 2/3 mark in each of them. Could be a future pick, seeing as that Hard Rock 1 went well, as well as that Fremont 3 still being available for the big ult control.
Yeah, I would love to see Illustrious Drifters, man. I really want to see that map. I hope it becomes picked out, because it's been such an incredible original. Wonder if Taiwan feel a little extra confident on maps like the normal 2. Maybe the DT1 as well. Focuses a little bit more towards aim, but still complementing that mechanical skill. But I think when you're looking at that, you want to maybe hope that Chile pick it for you, and that in turn leads to that 3 more 2 picks coming in. Suminagashi, map by Artisan. It is your very classic anti-mod map.
Yeah, this one, a little bit of a classic here with Suminagashi, plenty of flow aim and new combo reading. A little bit of stack difficulty as well as a swing section. You're going to see a lot of combo strikeout in that swing section about 1/3 of the way in. And this is another curious one where if you are Taiwan, you're hoping for a big improvement here. It is a 1.9 million team score last time they had to play this map. Romania beating them out by nearly 800,000. So looking for the improvement here. It is a map they picked, so the underperformance on the day may be potential there for Chile.
No, I agree. I mean, if you were to look at the previous match stats alone on paper, you would think this is a shocking mispick from Taiwan. Chile getting 2.7 million on this, with Taiwan 800,000 score off, like you said. Also losing to 800,000 score to Romania. Last time they played this, it was Spines Knight on that hard rock and Fly on the hidden, maybe looking to change things up depending on how they feel. If they are willing to pick this into Chile, it shows that there's continuous confidence in this despite the struggle that they had against Romania. Maybe that was a significant low roll. We'll have to wait and see. We've seen drastic improvements in the past. This time, it needs to be at a very important stage in this match. Chile taking this one will have a chance to pick into the map that could give them match point. An elimination point for Taiwan. Hard rock for Spines Knight. Hidden for Ruyaya. Different hidden member here for Taiwan with Willie and Gaohao on the Nomad. Hana Yume, hard rock on 3 members of Chile. What a colossal overmod this is. Hidden from number 37, hard rock from Intercamming and Hana Yume, and hidden hard rock from Sifs. This is crazy.
And this is similar to what they did last time out on this pick, except it was Lasse as the 3rd hard rock player for Chile. Actually a roster switch to come through for Sips, who actually wasn't present in that match yesterday, seemingly based off of the rosters shown today. So Chile looking strong with their hard rock overmod. Been a popular thing to do this week, as they are immediately taking a massive lead. Double break from Ruyaya Gaohao, and the recoveries, low accuracy from Spines Knight means 270k up in just the first quarter of this map.
Yeah, it's a very convincing start here from Chile so far. Sieves, though, gonna go down. Gaohao to exchange. Best, but still decent territory with Willie and Spines Knight still holding on to these big combos. Ruyaya on the recovery. Waiting for something from Chile to slip up so they can start gaining a lead here. This job's so brutal, so difficult to deal with here. But working out so far for both of these teams. Tension really thin. Waiting for one of these hard rock players to slip up. It's just not happening here for Taiwan. Chile are slowly gaining this score. Ruyaya with the miss will add so much more pain to this story here on the 3mod2.
Yeah, and this is a disastrous pick here for Taiwan so far. Already a 500k off, just a quarter remaining, and with those combo breaks from Spines Knight and Ruyaya, I do fear it is just out of reach now. Intercamming still holding on to this Hard Rock FC, and at the scaling, final one down, Nomad FC down for Willie, will be the end of this map. A second breakpoint to come through for the Chilean roster, and unfortunately, the stats told the truth this time around, with the score nearing just about 3 million by the end of it from Chile. What a performance on the 3mod2 to nail their second breakpoint here.
It's rough. It's rough for Taiwan. It's the hope that kills you in these situations. Hoping that that improvement from last game can really carry you forward, but not this time. Chile will take it and make a big improvement too. 300,000 score more than their last run. Taiwan as well, also respectively getting a higher score by about 100,000 from last time. Still doesn't really change the fact that this really stung. It's a huge, colossal gap from Taiwan. And it makes you think on what exactly was the reason behind this pick. But it might just been one of those things with just tournament nerves. Maybe the practice score is about 10 times better than we expected.
Yeah, it's just one of those things, especially with a semi-precision skill set like those maps. The nerves definitely playing effect. The accuracy a little lower than you'd like on some of those players. So still, it's Chile with a little bit of a hard decision here. I mean, DT1 was a map that Taiwan got a breakpoint on for Romania. Initially, you'd think like they want to keep on playing into those mechanics maps, but it's not going to be the case. Instead, they're going for Nomad 2, which is immediately into this 240 BPM Mazarin tapping. Very volatile, very short map here with Shimmy.
It's brutal. It's difficult tapping map. Very high mechanics, very high volatility. Like you said, short, very dense in difficulty. Never really feels like this map can give you a break. For good reason. when you see the mapper's name being Mazarin, you kind of already know what to expect. And Chile are a team that thrive in these environments.
Yep, last time out, this was one of those tapping picks that Austria tried to play into, but Camming with the S rank brought it through with a 2.6 million team score. And this is another one where the stat lines show a bit of an edge for Chile, wherein Taiwan, their score on this when they got the breakpoint was about 2.1 million, 500k off. You're looking for Taiwan to find these improvements, but Chile's consistency today has really been something to behold.
Yeah, last time Taiwan played this against Romania, they won by a tiny thread margin of 2,000 points. Whereas on the contrary for Chile, they dominated up against a team like Austria, which is impressive nonetheless, by 660,000 points. Goes to show the gap in mechanical consistency that these teams have, unfortunately, between each other. Chile looking to make this the one to guarantee themselves match point, tiebreaker point at absolute minimum.
Yeah.
Right. At this rate, you're just waiting. You're just waiting for the map to come through and just pray something changes, because I don't see a world where it could. Chile just look really strong.
Yep, it'll be a similar roster here. Last time Flyer was the top performer, but Willie's been playing quite solid today. We'll have to see if they could make the adjustments necessary. It seems to be a very common theme with this 700k top score on whichever team wins this map. And looking to make those adjustments, it's Riser in the 4th spot. Early break, the wide angle jumps in between the 240 shred of this map. So devastating to hop into. I don't know where Chile got 500k from. There we go. Bancho getting that sorted out for us, but it is a early 70k lead off of the back of these early shred patterns. The wide angle jumps so devastating in between these patterns. It's actually going to lead to a big chain of misses from both Flyer and Shock Gamer.
Gonzo, another big miss there. That's another full combo gone here from Chile. It's just Willie holding desperately on to keep his team alive here with Alphiu to contest him. A superior accuracy for the Chilean side. Superior recovery combo as well, but that might soon change. We see another miss from Gonzo or Shock Gamer. Shirosaur coming in, not the case. Alphiu with a colossal break though. That's exactly what you want here if you're Taiwan. Although you get that double miss coming in. Shirosaur's miss, I believe, was Bancho. So his combo still holds strong. Willie with the full combo still holding. But they both go down! And that might just be another devastating blow for Taiwan. Hope seemingly eliminated off of that alone, as there's barely any time left to recover a big enough combo to contest the likes of Gonzo into camping. It is devastating for Taiwan. As the stamina kicks in, players like Gonzo, Alphiu, and into camping live through this stamina, and it is just the show for Chile. The break is in, as long as they don't collapse towards the very end, which I don't think for Chile is high likelihood. It's looking another done deal for Taiwan, despite the hope instilled at the start.
Yeah, just the placement of those breaks for Willie and Shirosaur right at that halfway point was disastrous. And Intergaming closing out the reverse FC. 3 misses right towards the beginning, but closing it towards the end. That stamina thriving and getting match point for the Chileans.
Yeah, it's a similar score in essence to last time, maybe a little bit lower slightly from what I remember. No, in fact, actually, almost perfectly matching their score from last time. Oh no, in fact, actually, I take it back. It's a much lower team score than last time. Doesn't change the idea that they still managed to win it out, despite Taiwan looking like they had really heavy potential to take it. Just the timing of the misses just backfired massively. You can see Taiwan eager to make their final pick, and it will be Illustrious Drifters as their last hurrah.
Plenty of life here, Taiwan making the adjustments. Hard Rock 1 worked out for them. Nomad 4 built by a similar vein. Looking to get those similar rosters in for the tech pick here. A beautiful custom song by MetaHuman Boy for illustrious streamers. Feel free to spam those auroras in the chat.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just a banger. I love this Ice original so much. I love the song. I love the original song. It's so good. It's such a banger as well. The design of this is amazing. The song is amazing. The map is just beautiful from Altai. I couldn't have asked for a better map into quarterfinals here. It's so much fun to listen to and play around. And if there was anything to relift the spirits for Taiwan, to reignite it, it would be this. It would be Illustrious Drifters. Control heavy, sporadic in difficulty, but motivating in nature if succeeding at the beginning. You've got a typical Ki time section at the beginning, then you've got 1/3, and you're back into the difficult characteristics of the map. First time we're going to be seeing Ethan coming in for Taiwan. Gaohao Ryaya joining in next with a 4-3 waiting. Same with Chile. Chokgamer, Alfie, and Hanayume coming in. Those last two players from each side could be the big ones that decide the fate here. Have to wait and see.
Yeah, Ethan, a little bit of Nomad preference on that player. Another one of these standout newcomers for the Taiwanese roster. Performed massively on free mods in yesterday's match. Looking to do the same here for the Nomad 4. Of course, Willie closing it out. Core member for this Taiwanese roster. Gaohao Ryaya on backup for the tech map. And of course, Chile running this similar roster. Actually, no entertaining in for this one. It's going to be Soups, Alfie, Chokgamer, and Hanayume. With the scaling of this year's quarterfinals, we get to see a little bit more depth out of Chile. Entertaining, not filling as many maps as usual.
Yeah, usually you see it's camming on effectively everything alongside Mathy, but it feels like the versatility of Chile's backed them up quite well here in this one. And there's a reason why they are C10, even without players of the likes of Mathy and Suntan, which goes to show the colossal improvements of the rest of the court in Chile, like Chokgamer, like Alfie especially. This time, all relying here on this OS original from MetaHuman Boy. Illustrious Drifters. Can't underestimate how great of a map and song this is. This is Taiwan's time to bring it back. If there's any time now, it has to be it. Ryaya to not make the start look too good, but it's very early beginnings. It's a 3-minute long map, very dense in difficulty. Plenty of time for things to change. Chokgamer will exchange on the misses to make the combo game even. Willie as well joining in a miss. I didn't notice Gaohao as well early on. It's a rough start for Taiwan. As Chile still with 3 full combos intact. Ethan with another miss. It's a full wipe early from Taiwan. No FC's in. But as this intro starts to rear its difficult head here, it's only Alfie to survive the early onslaught as we get into the next section here.
It's all eyes on Alfie once again. Actually, the sort of new face here, as he has filled in pretty much every map for the Chilean roster outside of Fremont 2. And is now the main combo difference here. More breaks come through for Taiwan. It's Ethan Ryaya on the backup recoveries. But you need this whole roster to hold Siv's Hanayume fall once again. And it's Ryaya, Ethan versus Alfie, just about even on combo with those 2v1.
This is looking really close. The rest of Chile massively struggling on this map. It is just Alfie who will fall just at the very end. That is a huge miss from Chile. The rest of the team have not been able to build big combos. Only now after the first PI time building coming out as we enter the slow build-up, its recoveries built in with Ethan and Ryaya helping out Taiwan in this A to recover. Alfayu's mega final boss combo is gone, and this is Taiwan's chance now with the Scully coming in. Hanayume is to go down next. Ethan will go, and that's a big one, but you still have Ryaya and Gaohao leading the charge here as the spearheads of a potential return. Ryaya will fall, and that's huge. You need something here. You need Chile to fall soon. Chokgamer and Alfeu are the big, scary guys to look for. And there's Chokgamer into the 1/3. It's Alfeu next on the chopping block, hoping for him to fall so Gaohao can capitalize.
And this is a 1/3 snap section. All bunch of big combos are dying. It's Gaohao and Alfeu, but Alfeu breaks first. It's first blood there, and there's no combos on the Chilean side. Gaohao once again making it work when it matters most. Back against the wall is when this rookie shines and is making it happen once more. Holds just enough to bolster that lead. Up back over the 100k mark now. It's Willie with the biggest combo, matched by Alfeu and Hanayume. It'll be close tidings in this ending, but it's so volatile, and I'm not sure there's enough time to bring back 100k.
It's all over the place, and the combos are so low. Trotgamer goes down again behind Yuma and Alpha. You do have leading combos in this lobby. Ethan will miss, and that's with 300 gone. One counteracting force against the other, out of the picture. It is two great combos for Chile against none from Taiwan. Hanayume may fall, Sifs may fall, and Alpha U's efforts are not enough. It's 67,000 score to remain in the court of Taiwan, and that will give them another point on the board. Saved just barely for On Illustrious Drifters here. This is their chance to bring back the magic that we saw against Romania. Not being able to shine like gold dust this time. Maybe this is the turning point for them.
Within milliseconds, Ender Camping, the reason why he wasn't in on that map was likely to prep for this one. Double time one within just moments. They were the ones to pick the other two DT maps, DT3, DT4, near back-to-back. And now, looking to close it out is Team Chile with remote control.
It's unanimously known as one of the most iconic maps of all time. And I think because of that, a few players here and there will have a feeling that they won't be able to process these properly due to mind block. But that's not an issue with the map. That's an issue with the history made from the players who played it. So it really matters here on whether or not it will affect Chile in any way. I think into camping, a player a bit more disciplined enough to not fall as much for this mind block, but still very much capable of doing so. It is the big key items, the big jumps that trip you up here.
It was the FCs that came through in the lobby the last time they were out that made the difference. Chile, actually the ones to lose this point, but still with 3 million score and an FC from Alpha U to back them up, is 300k higher than Romania, who struggled just a little bit to get those FCs, which, I mean, it's remote control, what can you say? But looking for the team-wide consistency to pay off once again with Chile here for this pick.
Yeah, last time Chile played this up against Austria, it was Z9A to have counterforced that FC to give them the victory by a pretty close 265k, considering the standard of the map that has up in front of them. And for Hong Kong, not Hong Kong, oh my god, I don't know why I'm thinking about Hong Kong. For Taiwan, sorry. I don't know why I'm thinking about Hong Kong. What's going through my head there? I'm thinking about Misha Awa or something, I don't know. Maybe he has a score on it. I don't know why I thought Remote Control and Hong Kong. Taiwan, sorry. Taiwan, not as bright of a score, but still very much decent. It's 200 to 2.6 mil. It's not looking as good in terms of history, but I think this map is still very much capable of having both teams have multiple FCs. I think you saw a 2-miss 99.2 choke from Ryza at 678k, who's definitely somebody who looks to be a big candidate to take this, one of the highest skill ceiling players for Taiwan, alongside Willie and Flyer. Potential is a big name for these teams on this map especially. Everyone knows what's coming at you, yet somehow it's still so difficult to process and fully hit. And so you need to be the outlier to get a big score on one of those iconic maps of all time when your team and country need it more than ever.
And actually, some curious roster here from Chile. It will be actually no, never mind. I was incorrect. I didn't realize Sifs played this map last time as well, but gonna be the first break coming out from Sifs to give Taiwan this early advantage. The scores, of course, gonna be inflated because of that double time multiplier, but accuracies as well. Looking for a little bit of struggle off the back of Hanayume here as well to bolster that lead.
Taiwan holding strong so far. 4-way FCs into camping with a big miss there. The man who was practicing for the map before to hold as their full combo is not able to establish that. An early miss to backfire for Chile. Ruyaya is next to fall. That's a FC gone for Taiwan. Reverse choke from Steve, still sticking with Hanayume as well. Ryza next to miss. A big one there. Second side break there from 2. Willie joins 2. I didn't notice that. Willie also goes down. It's just Flyer left for Taiwan. And you've got Alpha with the full combo. Siege for the recovery. This is going to soar very quickly here for Chile, as Taiwan only have to rely on Flyer.
It's going to be going quick so long as Sifs continues that supporting combo, but it's Alpha once again, the player to hold on to the FC last time for Chile. is looking to do so again. Flyer, top performer for this DT1 in that avenue as well. Doing it once more as we hop into our second Ki. Big jump section on the star. Doubles back on itself. Riser, the only one to fall. And it's these breaks coming through for Taiwan. Still, the recoveries for Chile doing just fine. The Flyer is gone. And with it may just be Taiwan's life in this OC World Cup.
Break is shown to Chile know the capability, the possibility that it's going to happen. Flyer is devastated, hoping that something collapses in this bus ladder section, or maybe in this tapping section too. The combos of Chile's recovery is so immensely high, and look at it gaining from about 70k to 300,000. Went from close to an absolute stomp. Chile looking to end this explosively, and Alphiu seeking out that full combo.
Yeah, can he do it again? He's dropped off on many a map in this pool, really shown his all-rounder chops this year, is Alphiu.
Oh,
with
no!
That backup, but unfortunately not to be on the back and forth.
What kind of miss is that, Alphiu? Come on! Talk about hype, talk about buzz kills, eh? With that next coming in, it's just into camping spot to combo left, and he will go down, as I mentioned his name. Hunter Yume now last left on Chile's side, but it doesn't mean anything for Taiwan. Unfortunately, their fate has been sealed from a pretty decent time ago. Chile looking to end it in style. Hunter Yume with positive combo to close, and it will be Chile to take down Taiwan and end their journey here at the US World Cup.
Still, Taiwan can leave with their heads held high. What a performance from them in this OS World Cup, taking out that number 12 seeded Romania in a tiebreaker barn burner previously, but Chile, in dominant fashion, show why they are seed 10, show the roster depth with plenty of switch outs in this matchup. And we'll be moving on to next week for the semifinals.
Chile surviving again in the lower bracket, holding strong, keeping that powerhouse intact. I think Chile honestly have such an admirable undersung run, considering that they lost 2 of their 3 super core that we come to expect to be so powerful for this team. But the Chileans still hold strong, still stay stalwart, and not letting go of their hopes of making a strong run in spite of that. But with that, it's the end of Taiwan's journey, and that is going to be, unfortunately, a good run from Taiwan, but not enough to take home the gold or against anything else here for their opponents. I'm curious on what Brazil is. Oh, there we go. Leo corrected it. There we go.
That was some beautiful.
Brazil were tweaking that. I don't know what's going on with Brazil there. They have to go against Norway in 3 hours, but this is okay. We should close really quickly because we got Russia and Philippines 4-3 currently, and this could be another tiebreaker potential game. So I have to wait and see. But how about anything you want to say before we close up?
Nothing more from me. Philippines just picked Fremod 1, looking to tie it back up. We'll be sending you over to that A stream shortly, but what a performance from Taiwan, what a performance from Chile, overperforming their seed and showing why they are seed number 10 is Chile. That's gonna be all from me, but have fun over there on the A stream.
Yeah, thank you, Taiwan, for playing. It was a pleasure seeing you guys back again. Hopefully next year we'll see a better run. But with that, guys, we'll transfer you over to the B stream very soon. I've been Shiva, joined by Hubba. Go to the A stream to check out Russia vs Philippines, because that is getting real hype. We'll see you on the A stream, guys.
Bye-bye.
Let me see you do it.